Read People Like a Book by Patrick King. Introduction. Unlocking the Human Book. Every person we meet is like a walking book, filled with unwritten pages of thoughts, emotions, motivations, and life experiences. Yet, unlike printed text, those pages aren't always easy to read. In Read People Like a Book, Patrick King invites us to learn the subtle language of human behavior, the kind of communication that happens without words, in body posture, tone of voice, and the unconscious choices people make every day. From the very beginning, King makes it clear, this isn't a mystical gift, and it's not about fortune-telling or guesswork. The ability to read people is a skill, one rooted in psychology, sharpened by observation, and strengthened with practice. It's something anyone can learn, and when mastered, it can transform how we interact with others, make decisions, build trust, and even detect deception. This book goes well beyond body language cliches. Yes, it shows you what crossed arms or darting eyes might indicate, but it also explores deeper layers of human behavior. How someone's past shapes their habits, how to spot emotional patterns, and why understanding someone's why is far more powerful than simply labeling what they do. Drawing on psychology, neuroscience, and real-world social dynamics, King equips readers with tools to recognize not just actions, but intentions. And with that, he offers both a promise and a challenge. If you commit to practicing the techniques in this book, you'll gain an edge in everything from professional negotiations to personal relationships. You'll learn to read not just what someone says, but who they are. Because once you can read people like a book, you can connect with them like never before. Chapter 1. The Silent Language of the Body. Before anyone speaks, their body already has. In the opening chapter of Read People Like a Book, Patrick King introduces one of the most essential tools for understanding others: body language. It's the silent yet powerful form of communication that bypasses words and reveals what people are often unwilling or unable to say out loud. Body language includes everything from how a person stands or walks, to subtle facial expressions, to the tone in which they speak. These non-verbal signals offer valuable insight into someone's emotional state, intentions, and even their honesty. Learning to read these cues isn't about guessing. It's about learning to observe human behavior with greater clarity and nuance. King explores several reasons why mastering body language matters. It helps you understand people's unspoken feelings, improve relationships, gain influence, and identify deception. In high-stakes scenarios like negotiation or conflict resolution, this skill can be the difference between success and misunderstanding. But it's also just as useful in everyday conversations, helping us connect more authentically and respond more effectively. He then breaks down the key components of body language. Posture reveals confidence or insecurity. The speed and direction of body movements can show hesitation, aggression, or openness. Facial expressions, our most expressive feature, can instantly signal joy, worry, confusion, or disdain. And tone of voice, while technically still verbal, often reveals far more about how something is said than the words themselves. Practical examples bring this to life. Folded arms may signal discomfort or defensiveness. Frequent face touching might indicate anxiety or even deceit. Sustained eye contact suggests trust and interest, while a genuine smile naturally builds rapport. Still, King cautions, body language is not an exact science. Context matters. A crossed arm in a cold room may mean someone's chilly, not defensive. That's why reading people well means observing clusters of behavior over time, not jumping to conclusions based on a single gesture. A raised eyebrow alone means little, but paired with a certain tone or facial tension, it could mean curiosity or suspicion. Ultimately, this chapter invites the reader to begin noticing the world differently. By paying attention not just to what people say, but how they say it, with their faces, limbs, posture, and presence, we begin to unlock deeper levels of human connection. It's not mind reading, but it's close. And it all begins with watching. Chapter 2. The Face as a Window to Personality. If body language whispers truths through motion, the human face speaks them in finer, more nuanced detail. In this chapter, Patrick King turns our attention to the face, arguably the most expressive and revealing part of our body. According to King, a face is far more than an arrangement of features. It's a map of emotions, temperament, and inner drives. By learning to interpret this map, we gain a deeper understanding of the people around us, often before they've even said a word. The chapter begins by highlighting the significance of each facial element. Eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, and overall shape each carry unique clues to someone's emotional life and personality traits. But instead of reducing interpretation to isolated parts, King promotes a more holistic approach. Facial reading, he suggests, is most effective when all features are considered together. How they balance, how symmetrical they are, even subtle changes in skin tone or expression. No single trait tells the whole story. Yet each feature does offer meaningful hints. Wide eyes may reveal openness, curiosity, or a strong imaginative streak. Thick eyebrows can suggest confidence and assertiveness, while a sharp, prominent nose may reflect ambition and drive. A large mouth or an easy smile might hint at sociability and warmth, whereas a smaller, tighter expression might imply reservation. Face shape, too, offers insights. Rounder faces may signal kindness and gentleness, while angular ones may suggest structure, focus, or high standards. Crucially, King differentiates between static and dynamic face reading. It's not just about facial structure, it's about expression. The movement of the face tells a more immediate and emotional story. The way a smile forms, how the eyes crinkle when someone laughs, or the flash of tension in a jawline can all betray thoughts and feelings in real time. This is where face reading shifts from observation to connection, helping you respond with greater empathy or insight. But, like with all interpretive tools, King is careful to outline its limits. Face reading isn't infallible. It must be applied with critical thinking and complemented by other cues like tone, gestures, and context. People are layered, and their faces are shaped by both biology and experience, making it vital to approach this skill not with judgment, but with curiosity. Ultimately, this chapter offers a powerful lens for better communication. By learning to read the subtle language written on a person's face, we're not trying to stereotype or oversimplify, but to understand more, listen deeper, and relate more meaningfully. When used thoughtfully, facial reading becomes not a shortcut to judgment, but a doorway to connection. Chapter 3. The Truth in the Tone. While body language and facial expressions paint a visual picture of someone's internal world, the tone of voice delivers that world through sound. In Chapter 3, Patrick King explores how the way someone speaks, apart from what they say, can be one of the most revealing channels of communication. Words might lie, but tone almost never does. Tone of voice serves as a mirror to emotional truth. King categorizes tone into 4 core types: the neutral, everyday tone that signals no particular emotional shift, the high-pitched tone often associated with excitement, joy, or anger, the low-pitched tone reflecting sadness, tiredness, or concern, and the trembling tone, which usually signals nervousness, fear, or insecurity. These tones aren't just linguistic. They're emotional footprints in the air, giving away what someone may not want or know how to say outright. Beyond these broad categories, King emphasizes the importance of listening to how someone speaks. Rhythm, volume, and emphasis all matter. Is someone speaking rapidly, suggesting anxiety or eagerness? Do they pause often, signaling uncertainty or a need to tread carefully? Is their voice rising in pitch at unexpected times, which may hint at stress or excitement? Even where they place emphasis in a sentence can shift its meaning entirely and offer clues to their true priorities or emotional state. King illustrates how tone of voice plays out in various real-world situations. In job interviews, it's often more than a candidate's qualifications that matter. Their tone can express confidence, enthusiasm, or nervousness. During negotiations, a voice that softens at key moments may indicate openness, while one that sharpens could suggest resistance or concealed frustration. In personal relationships, couples may say they're fine, but their tone often betrays their actual mood, be it contentment, sarcasm, or suppressed tension. He also includes subtle examples. A hoarse voice might signal fatigue or illness. A stammering tone can reflect nervousness or insecurity. And a scornful inflection almost always communicates underlying disdain, even if the words are polite. These details, King argues, can be picked up with careful, consistent listening. But as with all forms of behavioral reading, he urges caution. Tone is context-sensitive. One person's low voice might mean tiredness, while in another, it might be their natural speech pattern. Culture, personality, and emotional wiring all play a role in how tone is expressed and perceived. For this reason, King encourages readers to triangulate tone with body language and verbal content for a fuller, more accurate picture. The key, he concludes, is deliberate practice. By listening attentively to others, and even to yourself, you can begin to develop a more sensitive ear for emotional nuance. Try mimicking different tones to understand their effects. Reflect on how your own voice communicates, sometimes unintentionally. Over time, you'll begin to hear the feelings behind the words, giving you deeper insight into human emotion and strengthening your ability to connect meaningfully with others. Chapter 4. Words that reveal the mind. In Chapter 4, Patrick King turns the spotlight on spoken language, not just as a means of expression, but as a mirror reflecting a person's internal world. While tone and body language speak volumes non-verbally, the actual words people choose reveal their cognitive patterns, emotional states, intentions, and motivations. King breaks this down into 4 fundamental categories of speech: thinking, feeling, action, and motivation. People who lead with thought-based language tend to express themselves through abstract concepts, ideas, and frameworks. Their speech is measured and reflective. You'll often hear phrases like, "I think," or "It's interesting that." These individuals are analytical by nature, frequently posing questions, exploring implications, and organizing their communication in a logical structure. For them, conversation is a platform for reasoning and exploration rather than connection or persuasion. Those who speak from a feeling-centered place are much more emotionally expressive. They infuse their words with sentiment and use language that clearly conveys inner emotional states. Their tone tends to rise and fall with intensity, and they're likely to say things like, "I feel," or "I'm really upset about." They don't just tell you information, they want you to feel it with them. Their words are relational, expressive, and often vivid. Action-driven speakers are straightforward, pragmatic, and focused on doing rather than reflecting or emoting. Their speech is filled with verbs and goal-oriented language. "I'll handle it. Let's get started," or "We need to finish this today." They get to the point quickly and often focus conversations around tasks, logistics, or outcomes. For them, speech is a tool for execution. Finally, there's the motivational communicator, whose words express desire, purpose, and internal drive. You'll hear statements like, "I want to achieve," or "My dream is to." These individuals are future-focused and guided by a sense of personal mission. Their speech often reveals what excites or fuels them, whether it's ambition, connection, or creative expression. King offers more than just these categories. He provides practical techniques to read speech more effectively. Pay close attention to the actual vocabulary someone uses, especially recurring patterns. Observe how their tone and body language align, or don't, with their words. Listen with intent and extract emotional cues hidden in connotation. Ask open-ended questions not just to gather facts, but to reveal how someone thinks, feels, or acts. Still, King reminds readers to tread with care. Language is nuanced, and its meaning can shift depending on context, relationship, or even cultural background. Speech analysis, like body language, is a valuable interpretive lens, but it is not a crystal ball. It's one part of a larger toolkit. Ultimately, learning to read someone through their words allows you to tune into the internal currents beneath surface-level conversation. It sharpens your communication skills, deepens your understanding of others, and helps forge more authentic connections in both personal and professional interactions. Chapter 5. Seeing the Whole Person. In the final chapter of Read People Like a Book, Patrick King synthesizes all previous insights, body language, facial expressions, tone, and speech, into a broader and deeper skill: reading people holistically. Rather than focusing on isolated signals, this chapter teaches you how to observe multiple layers of a person's behavior to understand not just what they're showing, but who they are, what they want, and why they act the way they do. The chapter breaks this process down into 5 key sub-skills: reading emotions, thoughts, motivations, personalities, and intent. To begin with, King explores emotional reading, the foundation of all interpersonal understanding. The 6 universal emotions, joy, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust, each have distinct physical and vocal expressions. But real emotional intelligence requires more than recognizing a frown or a sigh. It involves identifying mixed feelings, uncovering suppressed or hidden emotions, and recognizing emotional shifts as they happen. For example, your date may smile politely, but signal discomfort through a stiff posture. A coworker may nod in agreement while unconsciously clenching their fists. These subtle clues offer windows into what people really feel but won't, or can't, say. Next, King turns to reading thoughts, a skill that blends verbal analysis with contextual awareness. While speech provides surface-level insight, deeper thought patterns can be glimpsed in body movements, eye contact, and reactions to surroundings. For instance, a negotiating partner may say, "We're flexible, but a quick glance at their colleague or a shift in tone can betray hesitation or hidden constraints. In such moments, reading between the lines becomes an art of intuition supported by observation. The third pillar is motivational reading. King emphasizes that we're all driven by a unique blend of internal motivators: power, success, relationships, safety, and freedom being the most common. These core desires influence everything from the way we dress to the way we speak. An employee who frequently speaks about long-term growth and personal improvement may be motivated by success and autonomy, while another who seeks approval or avoids conflict might prioritize relationships and stability. By identifying someone's core driver, you can better predict their decisions and tailor your interactions accordingly. Then comes personality reading, which King links to 4 dominant personality styles: dominant, inspiring, stabilizing, and conscientious. These styles shape how people communicate, solve problems, and relate to others. Dominant types may use assertive language and carry themselves with authority, while stabilizing individuals tend to favor calm, predictable environments and exhibit consistent behaviors. Reading personality goes beyond observation. It requires noticing patterns across different contexts: how someone reacts under stress, how they organize their workspace, or how they approach goals and setbacks. Finally, King addresses one of the most nuanced challenges in people reading: reading intent. It's one thing to know what someone feels or thinks. It's another to grasp what they truly want. Intent can be masked, especially when a person has something to gain. King guides readers to look for signs of manipulation, insincerity, or hidden agendas, but also warns against jumping to conclusions. Malicious intent is often shrouded in charm or politeness, making it crucial to observe contradictions between words and behavior. At the same time, understanding genuine intent, whether in a romantic partner, a friend, or a colleague, helps build trust and guide meaningful relationships. This chapter is ultimately a masterclass in interpersonal literacy. It urges you to see people not as puzzles to be solved, but as multi-layered individuals whose signals can be interpreted with care, attention, and empathy. By practicing these techniques consistently, you become not only a sharper observer, but a more effective communicator and a more compassionate human being. And the silent signals that speak volumes. Read People Like a Book reminds us of something powerful. Understanding others begins with observation, not judgment. Patrick King doesn't offer a mystical formula. He offers a practical human skill. By learning to read body language, tone, facial expressions, and word choice, we unlock a deeper awareness of people's true feelings and intentions, even when their words don't tell the full story. It's not about manipulation. It's about connection, building better relationships, handling conflict with more clarity, and navigating life with emotional intelligence. What struck me most is King's reminder that this isn't something we're either born with or not. Like any skill, reading people takes awareness, practice, and time. It's not about becoming a mind reader, but a better listener, a more perceptive observer, and a more compassionate communicator. If you found this summary insightful, support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on more book breakdowns like this. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one signal or cue you've started noticing more since watching this video? In the description, you'll find a link to purchase the full book in multiple languages, along with summaries of other life-changing books to help you grow. One insight at a time.